I think I'm depressed, anxious, ADHD, or a mix of all three, said every person in Gen Z.
Gen Z is the first generation to grow up completely online, and they're starting to feel it.
We had to learn how to grow up in this different world of social media. We didn't have the rules passed down to us, and we're actually making the rules.
Corey Jane is a Gen Z poet who blew up online for her relatable poems about being a Gen Zer.
So I sit and I scroll and I rot on repeat.
Handed us our first phones in middle school. We were raised by them.
You know, so many people in Gen Z have been struggling with the ramifications of social media, you know, like screen addiction and, you know, a imbalance of dopamine when we're dependent on constant stimulation all the time.
50% of Gen Zers spend more than an hour on social media per day, according to research from the McKinsey Health Institute. But it's not just screen addiction, with social movements being born and spread online. I spent the afternoon on campus at University of Colorado Boulder, where people born between 1997 and 2012 told me the ever-increasing, quote, pressure to post about movements like these weighs on them almost every day.
Like there's the whole cancel culture. You get in trouble for like if you don't say anything, and then if you do and like people don't agree with you, it's like either way, like you can't win.
I feel like the anxiety is coming from people our own age. And like
Gen Z's anxiety surrounding social media is triple the levels of people their parents' age.
we're all like, I feel like impacting everyone, like each other's mental health the way that we're getting impacted too. Like it's a vicious cycle.
McKinsey's researchers note a shortage in access to behavioral health providers. Because of that, Gen Zers instead are less likely to seek care. And when they do, they rely on emergency care or turn to more social media, like following therapists on TikTok or Instagram.
If we know that there is going to be some sort of use of social media, how do we find the right way to be making it a supportive experience?
To combat the negatives, experts recommend if you're scrolling, be active on your feed rather than passive to strengthen social bonds. Turn off notifications when you're not on the apps and have a purpose every time you log on rather than just pulling up Instagram when you have a free moment.
A drug in our pocket without instructions on how or when addiction comes to stop it.
For Corey, she's reframed how she views her presence on social media.
Social media itself is neutral. It's like a neutral force, and it's kind of the user that gets to determine if it's going to have a negative or positive impact on themselves. And I think the important thing to realize when you're trying to be like, okay, real life versus social media is that whatever is in front of you, that is what's tangible.
That focused separation, an essential step to regulate mental health and scroll safely. Maura Barrett, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.